What do you think this monster-looking doll is worth? 400 rupees? 500 rupees? 1,000 rupees? At most 5,000 rupees, right? Well, what if I told you that this doll is priced at 1 crore rupees? Would you believe that? No, right? Even I couldn't believe it until I found out myself. And the story doesn't end here. These dolls have become so famous worldwide that the company making them made $1.8 billion just last year by selling them. And people are willing to pay anywhere between 10,000 to 1 crore rupees for a single doll. But what's so special about this doll? Is there money laundering going on behind the scenes? Or some deep conspiracy at play? And most importantly, how is China using this as a social weapon to plant ideas among people? Well, in today's video, we're going to talk exactly about that. So hello guys, welcome to the Unknown File. Let's start a brand new episode. Back in 2015, a Hong Kong writer named Kasing Lung published a 3-part picture book called Monsters, which featured lots of good and bad characters. Among these characters was one called Labubu, who, being kind-hearted yet mischievous, always wants to help others, but somehow his efforts always failed. After some time, Kasing began making and selling dolls based on these book characters, including Jimomo, Taco, Spooky, Pato, and Labubu. But the sales of these characters weren't enough to sustain everything. That's when Kasing approached a Chinese company called Pop Mart, signing a deal with them to produce and distribute the dolls. Now, the global toys and games market is worth around $132 billion, and thousands of companies struggle just to survive in it. But since its founding in 2010, Pop Mart has been doing remarkable business. Their secret? 3 main factors. 1. Cheap production. China is a manufacturing-heavy country with abundant, low-cost skilled labor and more manufacturing machines than anywhere else in the world. This kept their production costs low. 2nd, affordability. When Pop Mart entered the market, their toys were priced between 29 to 89 yuan, making them affordable to the masses. This essentially made their target audience the entire market. 3, blind boxes. This was Pop Mart's masterstroke. Normally, when you buy a toy from a store, you check its design, pick your favorite, and happily take it home. But Pop Mart realized that this satisfied customers, yet didn't encourage repeat purchases because buyers got their favorite toy in the first try. That's why they started selling toys in blind boxes, a closed package where even the store owner doesn't know which variant is inside. You only find out after tearing open the packaging. This doesn't give you satisfaction. It creates addiction. I once saw in a Netflix documentary that gamblers aren't addicted to winning money, but to the neurological thrill they feel right after placing a bet and before knowing the result. Pop Mart toys created the same thrill, turning buying a toy from a purchase into a gambling-like addiction. They made it even more addictive by intentionally producing millions of common toys, but only a tiny number of rare variants. Ones you might find only in 1 out of 500 or even 1,000 boxes. When someone finds one of these rare toys, they feel a sense of achievement and a dopamine rush, just like winning a bet. And if they get a common toy, they keep buying more boxes, chasing that rare one. As a result, Pop Mart's domestic sales boomed. In 2023 alone, they made $165 million in net profit. But internationally, they still lacked recognition until something unexpected happened. There's a very famous female pop band called Blackpink. One day, one of its members, Lisa, known not just for her singing, but also her personality, was spotted with a doll in her bag. No one had seen it before. Fans started searching. What is this thing? And that's when the trend began. Lisa didn't stop there. Over the coming days, she posted multiple photos with Labubu dolls. Demand quickly spread in South Korea, China, Japan, and other Asian countries. Then, when the same dolls were spotted with Hollywood celebrities like Rihanna, Dua Lipa, and Kim Kardashian, the hype skyrocketed. People, especially young women, began ordering Labubu dolls to imitate their favorite celebrities. Some chased rare Labubus and bought dozens of dolls, while others bought them simply to post videos on social media. On TikTok, the hashtag number Labubu got over 1.3 million videos, many with millions of views. Facebook groups dedicated to Labubu grew to over 500,000 members. TikTok creators joined in, further boosting the craze. Stats show some collectors spend $10,000 every month on Labubu collections. This created a chain reaction of demand and content creation, which gave Pop Mart free marketing and even higher sales. Their revenue doubled from 2024 to 2025, hitting $1.8 billion. Share prices shot up over 600%. Labubu and other Monsters character doll sales rose 727%. This gave them the opportunity to enter foreign markets, opening outlets in the USA, UK, Australia, and Singapore. They also collaborated with franchises like Nike, Disney, Harry Potter, and One Piece, becoming relevant to multiple fan bases. Here's the irony. Pop Mart, a Chinese company, built its success using TikTok, a Chinese platform, to hook global audiences. Yet the Chinese government has been quietly shadow banning the product domestically. This follows China's long-standing strategy: harm other markets while protecting its own citizens. But here's where Pop Mart's genius shines. Most companies, when faced with high demand, massively boost production to cash in quickly, overproducing and flooding the market. When the hype faded, their sales fell by 70%, and unsold inventory now just sits on shelves. Pop Mart didn't make this mistake. Instead of ramping up production too much, they shipped limited stock slowly. This scarcity meant that whenever new stock dropped, eager fans grabbed it immediately, and it sold out instantly. This created an atmosphere of urgency and FOMO, which made rare Labubu self-relax in third-party markets. People bought them to protect their status. This actually increased Pop Mart's market reach, as resellers entered the game, buying in bulk and reselling at high prices, much like scalpers with concert tickets. Now you might have two questions. Why do people keep falling for this? To explain this psychology, here's the story. In a room were the world's richest man, Jeff Bezos, and a brilliant but poor comedian. The comedian told an amazing joke. Only a few laughed. But when Bezos told a terrible joke, everyone laughed. Why? Because they thought, if the world's richest man made it, it must be good. Maybe I just didn't get it. So they pretended to understand, keeping up appearances. This is the same principle behind many non-value products. Remember fidget spinners? They were hyped as stress relievers and mental stability tools. People bought them to keep up with friends, even with no actual interest. Within a year, no one cared about them. Now they're barely found online. In short, trend-based purchases only make sense in two cases: when you truly like the product and want it for yourself, not to show off; when it adds real value to your life or solves a problem, and you understand everything about it. If you enjoyed the video and learned something new, like it and share it with your friends. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.